What is good, everyone in Raider Nation? I'm Eric, the Clueless Sportz Dad. I'm here with Raider Greg, and we are giving you our top 5 dudes to watch in camp and preseason games. Welcome in, Raider Greg.
Hey, good to be back. I'm jacked up for this episode.
Me too. Now, starting off, I've got my top 5. I'm going to give you the list. Then we're going to go over at least 2 guys on the list that we for sure cannot wait to see and excited. And I'm sure some of us, or I'm sure between the both of us, we have some of the same dudes. My first on my list is Keyron Crawford, and I'll dive into him here in a second because he's one of my 2 guys. My second guy is Trey Zuhn, safety out of Arizona. Third is Trey Zuhn, the guard / tackle, basically O-lineman, Texas A&M. He's out of Texas A&M. Fourth on my list is Malik Benson, the wide receiver from Oregon. And fifth, I can't stop going over his film and stuff like that. And everybody, he's the talk of the town because he's at the biggest position in all of NFL football, and that's the quarterback position, and that's our guy, Fernando Mendoza. With an honorable mention right off the top, I will say if this guy stays healthy, he will definitely be – that's even if he plays in the preseason or camp. If he stays healthy and he gets time to actually see some action, my honorable mention is Jermod McCoy, the corner out of Tennessee, because if you guys look back – make sure you guys go check this out, Raider Nation, but if you guys look back at our – draft coverage we did earlier in the year, right after the draft, we said the biggest steal of the draft was Jermod McCoy. Top 10 pick, basically, going in the 4th round to our Raiders. I thought it was amazing. So those are my top 5. Again, Crawford, Stukes, Zuhn, Benson, and Mendoza. What do you think about my list so far?
I love it, man. Like Crawford, obviously one of my favorite dudes. I love the edge rushers and the D linemen, and I'm right there. McCoy's one of my guys too, 100%. It just, if he's on the field, his potential is through the roof. I mean, he arguably a top 10 pick. I mean, just got to keep that knee right, man.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. And for me, like, I could have went linebackers because I was a linebacker coach, and I'm in love with our 2 linebackers that we got. But I kind of wanted to see, especially in preseason, we're going to see a lot of these dudes play. Hopefully, we're going to see a lot of them play a lot more significant, meaningful time, because their time in the preseason is a lot more meaningful to the Raiders as an organization to see what we got, what our GM, Mr. Spytek, got out of his investment in the draft. So with that being said, let's go into Crawford. The edge guy from Auburn, dude is an absolute stud. When you turned on tapes of Falk over there, all they saw was number 24, and that was Crawford. And for me, when people talk about the draft, everyone pumps up Fernando. Everybody pumps up McCoy because of the steal. But I think Crawford might actually have the biggest X factor from this class. And the reason I say that is because while there's established pass rushers on the Raiders, like Maxx Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Kwity Paye that they got in free agency, that means Crawford doesn't have to be that dude right now. He can learn, and that's a perfect situation for his skill set because there are some holes in his skill set because he hadn't played football for a long time. If you guys follow his journey, that's in other videos. But for me, that opens up. There's a huge gap between Maxx Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, and Kwity Paye. Malcolm Kuntz is still a guy we don't know. Like we know that there's flashes there, but with the injuries in the past and stuff like that, we need a guy that's a Maxx Crosby type dude. So depending on how Crawford plays his cards right, how he trains, how he's mentored by Maxx Crosby, he could slide in there and end up eventually, whether it's this year or next year, be that dude. Kind of like Maxx was when he first came to the Raiders, because Maxx wasn't even that dude when he came to us. So looking at a couple things too, I want to go over like his traits and stuff like that. You know, his athletic traits. He's got one thing me and you've talked about with one of the last Raiders edge rushers that was drafted in the 1st round. his first thing is his explosive first step. The dude can get off the ball. That's got to be number one priority when drafting an edge rusher in this league. How fast can you get off the ball? He's got excellent bend, a long stride speed, high motor, chases plays from the backside, which is amazing. I love that kind of effort from guys. We've all seen that from Maxx, where he's chasing a dude from behind, gets that undercut, makes a dude fumble. Next thing you know, we got the ball going the other way, baby. Let's go. More opportunities for our offense to get out there and go. He's one of those guys who looks faster than everyone else on the field at times. And when quarterbacks start climbing the pocket, he closes that gap quick as hell. His pass rush upside, his stats in college, I really don't look too much into that. They weren't like the big 30 sack guys or whatever, 20, 30 sack guys. I don't think there was a 30 sack guy, but big numbers type guys. But those numbers don't tell his whole story. His pressure rate was one of the better ones in college football, and he consistently disrupts the quarterback, even if he doesn't finish with a sack. It's kind of like Maxx Crosby, but opposite side now. And that's what it is. You can disrupt the quarterback's timing, errant throws, tipped balls. That's one thing that I would love to see the Raiders do more of at the line of scrimmage, is get some more damn tipped balls. I've said it for years. We lack that ability for some weird reason. But when it comes down to it, I think this dude has got that speed, got that first step. One thing he does need to improve on is his strength, setting the edge, counter pass rush moves. He'll learn a ton of that through Maxx, and even Max's pass rushing camps and stuff like that they all attend. And being more consistent against the run. He's going to have those opportunities. And now the Raiders got a linebacking core that makes you want to be like, holy shit, I cannot wait to see them play behind you. So you just stay in your lane, you do your job. They're going to help clean up the mess behind you. You'll end up getting those consistent stops against the run. What I'm watching for in preseason, I don't care about the sacks. Forget about the sacks. Forget about the sacks in preseason. Don't care about the numbers. We want to see him beat tackles quickly. We want to see him force the quarterback to move, have him panic a little bit, set some edges, win some one-on-one reps, and let's see the damage. Let's see him improve game by game by game, and let's see if he can take over some of those reps. That is my thing on Crawford. I love the dude. One of my favorite pickups in the draft. Go ahead, give it to me, Greg. What you got?
Yeah, I'm a big fan too. One thing I think you're underselling, though, is his bend. When you watch him, good first step, and he's a disruptive player. But when you get him on the edge, I mean, the one thing you really want those guys to be able to do is dip and rip through the tackle. And that's one he can do it inside. He can go outside. And when he gets to the quarterback.
You didn't hear that?
Well, I just don't want you to undersell it, because in my opinion, it's the best
undersell.
Part of his game. Yeah, don't undersell
gotcha.
it. I think it's the best part of his game. And that's one of those things where, a guy kind of either has that or he doesn't. It's really hard to accumulate that ability as you go on in your career. But he bends underneath of a tackle, and then when he gets to the quarterback, dude, there's some violence there. I like that level of violence. And yeah, he didn't have the sack numbers at Auburn, but dude, I don't know if you watched much Auburn football last year. They weren't very good. He didn't have 20 opportunities a game to just pin his ears back and rush the quarterback, because Falk was the big name guy. He was playing opposite him. So, when you got a 10, 15, 20 point lead and you're going to run the air out of the football, what are you going to do? You're going to run away from the star player, and you're just going to run at the other side of the offensive line where Crawford was. And standing up to the run, probably not his strength. I mean, his strength is pinning his ears back and just being a ball hawk, getting after the quarterback and being a disruptive player. Because like you said, disrupting the quarterback and just getting him off of his spot is sometimes just as valuable as a batted ball, because then you got the guys in the back end that can make a play. So, sky's the limit on Crawford, and I'm excited to see what he can do, man.
I could see some amazing packages. One of my favorite packages is like the NASCAR package when it's time to get after the quarterback, 3rd and long. You line up Maxx wherever you want to line him up on the outside, and if you are running a 4-3 at that point, I mean, or even if you're just going if you're going 4-man pressure, you bump Kwity Paye inside on that one same side. You bump Kwity Paye inside to let him do his work inside, and then you have Crawford on the outside of him. And I mean, that's
Absolutely.
like, because Kwity Paye can do some damage, and you can stunt, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff, you can blitz pack, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that you could do with these guys now. I think with the addition of Crawford and Kwity Paye, because they got Kwity Paye and then they got Crawford, I was kind of like, well, what are they going to do with these guys? And I was like, well, wait a minute, there's way more now you can do with these guys in different packages. So I love it. I think it's a great pickup. All right, so Greg, let me hear your top 5, man, and let's get diving into one of your guys.
My top 5, number 1 is actually a guy that's been around for a little while. It's Adam Butler. I'll get into him, but he's gonna play a pivotal role in this defense. So there's some specific things I want to see with him. Number 2 is Jack Besh. Everybody in the league, all the talking heads, all the Raiders wide receiver core, it's no good, blah, blah, blah. Well, I got high expectations for Jack Besh, so I want to see him out there getting more opportunities and getting more experience because he's a good teammate. He's got great hands. He's got good speed. He's a more than willing blocker. You can't not root for the guy with his story. I think Jack Besh is going to have a breakout year. I don't know if it'll be JSN good like it was for Kubiak in Seattle, but he's going to have a big impact on this offense. My number 3 guy is actually a guy that you already mentioned, Gerard McCoy. And the main thing I want to see from him in preseason is just get on the field. I want to see him be able to run and cut and make plays. And I don't want to see any limping, no hitching his giddy up. I just want to see Tennessee healthy version. Just go out there and be a ball hawk and not even worry about the knee. Just go play the way you can. And a guy who's really flying under the radar, and I'm just going to abbreviate his first name because I'll butcher it, but Zeke Massey. He's the 5th round cornerback out of Cal. He's 6'1", little slender. He's going to have to hit the weight room a little, bulk up a little bit. He's going to hang in the NFL. But dude, his instincts are, when you watch him on tape, if the ball's going to his side of the field, he always gets a hand on it. Had 5-6 picks last year. And then when he gets a ball in his hands, he's playing offense. He's looking to go score. And the last guy is Mike Washington Jr. I think he's going to be a spark plug, especially in this zone scheme of Kubiak's. It's going to be a little Clinton Portis looking, like when Kubiak Sr. was calling plays in Denver. He's got a little Darren McFadden wiggle to him. And if he plays to his potential and is a spark plug and is hard to get off the field, well, then Ashton Genty is going to have to raise his game because Ashton Genty isn't a guy that wants to come off the field either. So those two guys can feed off of each other and be star players. But the guy I want to really cover in detail is Adam Butler. Okay. I realize the defense, they're going to play a lot of sub packages and pass downs, nickel and dime packages. You're going to see a lot. But when you're in your base defense and you're playing a 3-4, okay, the Raiders spent all this money on middle linebackers and Dean and Walker. I think they're going to be studs, but what you want to do is keep those guys clean, right? So what that means is the guy directly in front of them, the nose tackle, which is where I think Adam Butler is going to play, because when you look at the rest of the defensive linemen on the roster, I like Tonka, I like JJ, I like, Booker, all them guys, but they're not nose tackles, in my opinion. Butler is the guy who's 6'4". Last year, he played right at 300 pounds is what the Raiders had him listed at. I'm hoping that when we see him on the field, he's more in that 325, 340 range. So, hey, man, go get in the cafeteria, do your work, get that Pizza Hut, get the McDonald's, like, get it up there, man. Not too much conditioning. We need him to control the center, eat up a guard so that Dean can fly around and do what he does, because he's going to be wearing the green dot. He ain't got time to mess around with guards. And Quay Walker just wants to bash dudes. Keep the guards off of him. Let those guys roam and make plays. And it's a it's not a heralded position. He's not going to get all the spotlight, but it's made in a 3-4 defense, as far as the front seven goes, other than your edge guy, it's the most important position on the field. So I want to see Adam Butler really take that position by the reins and be the guy that we need him to be. Because if he's not, we got problems.
Yeah, I love Adam Butler a lot. I mean, he's been, how long has he been there for? It's been a minute, few years now, right?
Yep.
And but he is getting up there. Unfortunately, he's 32 now. So, I believe he's 32. Yeah, he's 32 now. So,
and it's why I thought the Raiders would definitely target a nose tackle in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, Cleveland, I think is the guy's name. They did address it, but much, much later on. And, is he going to be ready to play? Is he going to be a guy that takes that position? I mean, time will tell, but Adam Butler's got to be the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got a couple other dudes. I really like Tonka. Tonka's a beast. I think he had some plays last year where it was like, wow, this guy can actually. And I made some graphics because I do the graphics design thing and stuff like that. And I did a couple Tonka graphics which were amazing. I loved it. So I can't wait to see them either. I think you're completely right about this being the position where we need to see somebody really stand up on that interior D line. A couple of guys, actually. I think we need a good 3-man, 4-man rotation, depending on how the depth chart works out, or how many are they going to keep on the 53-man roster. But I think we really need to see some dudes really step up. One guy they have as an undrafted free agent right now they got, and he's a monster guy. I think he's still with the team. I don't know if they kept him or not. Yeah, here he is right here. I got it right here. It is yeah, here he is. Gary Smith the third out of UCLA. The dude is 6'2", 340.
340. That's what I'm talking about. We need some beef up there.
So yeah, exactly. So I'm like, holy cow. I saw this the other day on the roster. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I haven't watched any film on him or anything like that. He played at Duke, 2 years at Duke and then 2 years at UCLA. Looks like he played in 10 games last year at UCLA, but UCLA is a just horrendous program, I think, right now. So, but again, I agree with you 100%. This D-line needs to be figured out. If this D-line's figured out by the end of the preseason, where they're like, we've got some dudes, and the front seven could be electric this year and change the whole outcome of this Raiders team. When you mentioned Washington, the running back, one guy that they did not draft, but they still ended up getting that I was really happy about is they went out and got Fernando Mendoza's, one of his running backs, Roman Hemby. I really like Roman Hemby. So that's another dude we could see. What's his name? Lauby might be Lauby. Sorry, jeez, I always forget the guy. I always mess his name up. Lauby. Yeah, Lauby could be. I don't know, man. He had some fumbles last year on kick return, I think it was, and so
he's going to have to step his game up. I like Lauby. I like the versatility he brings. But yeah, he's going to have to step his game up and show some value on probably special teams to convince the Raiders and force them to keep him on the roster. Because, running back, D-line, linebacker, the DBs, I think we really elevated the depth and created a lot of competition. And as far, and that's what good teams do. If you want to hang on this team, then you got to perform. You got to perform. Your resume, like the best thing that our former coach, I won't mention his name, ever said, is your resume is out there on the grass. So go prove it on the grass. And Antonio Pierce, right? He said that. Your resume is on the grass. You got to force these coaches to say, no, we can't cut this guy. He's too good. We got to find a way. We got to find a spot for him.
Yeah. All right. So jumping into my second dude, I'm going to help Coach Dan out because I know he was supposed to be on the podcast today. He couldn't be here, but he's an offensive line dude. And so am I when it comes to the Raiders, especially when you invest in somebody like Fernando Mendoza as your future quarterback. One guy I cannot wait to see, and I kind of hope he plays everywhere until he establishes himself, because we don't know if he's going to be a swing type player. We don't know if he's going to maybe just go to that right tackle spot and be like, okay, this is my spot. I'm taking it over. It's Trey Zuhn III, offensive lineman from Texas A&M. I am super excited about this dude for many reasons. Every Raider fan falls in love with receivers, pass rushers, which we are the same way. But championships are won because of offensive lines. Pretty much said it there. This might end up being Spytek's smartest picks. And Spytek is known for loving his offensive line. And so why it matters so much, again, it's because of Fernando Mendoza. You want to help get a younger guy in there. Let's see what happens, because who knows how much longer Colton Miller is going to be playing. And they did get some other guards last draft, and Spytek did his thing. But those guys, they basically, I'm going to say it how it is. Pete did them an injustice by not playing them enough until like the last couple of games. And so I think it was Grant and Rogers, correct? And those two dudes should have been playing way earlier in the season. Oh. And you got JPJ. They brought over Burford or whatever from San Francisco, I believe it was, the other guard. We got the dopest center in the league now. So Zuhn's college resume is pretty damn amazing. He's a 4-year starter. Played left tackle. He played a couple other spots too. He's a first-team All-SEC guy. You're playing an SEC and you're a first-team All-SEC guy. I mean, you're playing against elite dudes. So won the SEC Jacobs Blocking Trophy, recognized the conference's top offensive lineman, drafted by the Raiders in the 3rd round, 91st pick. That's a lot of football. So he's got a lot of experience, and as an offensive lineman, experience matters. We don't have a project dude like when we drafted that guy in the 1st round because he ran like a 4.2 at tackle, and then he was a bum and we cut him. Yeah, we all remember that. I'm not even going to say his name because I'm tired of it. We actually seem like we're competent now.
Yep.
What kind of player is he? He ain't a flashy dude. He's technically sound. He's very physical, excellent feet, and that's perfect for Kubiak's zone scheme. He's going to get out there and move, uses his leverage well. He's the kind of lineman coaches love. Basically, that's it. And now we have an absolute stud line coach, finally, and I think it's going to be huge for us. His flexibility, he could play guard, he could play a little center, he could play tackle. Some will say he can't. I'm sure Dan will get on here and be like, oh, he can't play tackle. BS. Dude can play tackle. You play 4 years and play that many positions, and you play that many snaps at tackle, and you're in the SEC, you could probably play that in the NFL. I mean, come on, let's not make it too bad. But again, his camp battle, if he's at guard, you got Spencer Burford, Caleb Rogers, who we got to see Caleb Rogers too. We have to see him and Grant on the field, possibly together. I mean, I want to see so many different guys on the Raiders. It's just my head's going like this. Even as we're sitting here talking, I'm like, damn, this guy. So, but we're talking about these guys today. So what I want to see from him in preseason is simple. One last quick point, and then you jump on. One thing I want to see from him in preseason, just be a dog. Get out there, smash dudes, run fast, hit guys. You miss assignments, you're going to learn. You're going to be taught. you're going to get that kind of coaching, but you need to play fast, physical, get out there and just knock some heads, dude. All right, what you got?
Hell yeah, man. You play offensive line for the Raiders. Just put on the old tape of Steve Wisniewski and just copy what that guy did. Because to me, that's what Zuhn is. He's a lunch pail guy. Like you said, technical savvy. But the biggest thing is he is perfect for the scheme. He's going to be playing on this offensive line. If you made me take a bet right now, I think he's probably taking Glaze's spot at right tackle unless Glaze really elevates, because I think he can play tackle. When I watch him play, I'm no offensive line expert like Dan, but my eyeballs tell me he can play tackle. He was playing tackle in college and doing a hell of a job. And for Spytek to take him in the draft as high as he did in front of other positions of need and other guys that would have fit scheme-wise as well, I think that bodes well. I think Spytek thinks real highly of him. And whatever happened last year on the offensive line, like, just throw the whole year out the window. Because when you go back and you watch the tape, like, what they were doing, it almost looked to me like some guys were trying to play zone scheme and some guys were trying to play man. Some guys were pulling out the wrong way and they're running into each other. Like, it was a disaster from the word go. So I really hope JPJ gets everything together, the noggin stays clear, and he's a dominant player. Because if him and Linderbaum are next to each other for a full season, Burford is a big physical dude too. I think this is an underrated offensive line. I think it could be really good. Kolton Miller, it's been a couple seasons since he's played a full slate of games. And then you look at the contract, he has zero guaranteed money for next year. So it pains me to say it, but this might be the swan song for Kolton Miller, because if you ask me what's more likely, does he get a next contract or does he get traded or moved or leave in free agency? I mean, which is more likely? I think it's probably more likely this is the swan song for Kolton Miller. And maybe the long-term answer at left tackle is our guys on here. But time will tell how that shakes out. I hope Kolton stays healthy and starts all 17 games this year and is as dominant as he's been for the last decade, because, he's one of the last Oakland Raiders, him and Crosby and Cole, and it's going to hurt to see him go when he does someday.
Yeah, and I think it's pronounced. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I looked it up. I thought it's pronounced Zuhn, like
Zuhn,
almost like Z.
Zuhn.
I think that's how you pronounce.
I'm gonna call him Zuhn. Just bring your lunch pail and smash everybody in the face. Just be that dude.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So who you got last? Who's your second guy? Finish this all off.
The guy I want to talk about, I touched on him a little bit, is my Cal cornerback. I mean, Zeke, that would be a great chant in Allegiant. Zeke! When he makes a play. Because he's going to make a lot of plays. Sure. He can play both corners positions. And young guy ran 4.4 at the combine from Cal. So, Al Davis is smiling. He's going to look great in silver and black. He's not afraid to come up and hit a guy. He had 47 tackles last year. You run them little crap-ass bubble screens to his side, he's going to come up and blow it up. He's not a big guy, but he's going to stick his nose in there, and he's going to compete, right? I said compete, and it makes me think of Pete Carroll, but I'm talking about a cornerback. Anyway. But, dude, I just love how sticky he is. When he's playing press man, like, he is the wide receiver shadow, and he gets in on their hands, and he's just a little pest. And then when the quarterback makes a mistake, he capitalizes on it. He gets his hands on it. Ball's stuck in his hands. So he's going to make plays. I think he's going to not only make this roster, but, I mean, he might steal. He's already stealing some first-team reps. Now, obviously, they're throttling McCoy down, and guys are practicing, they aren't practicing, but just the fact that he's getting first-team reps already in mini camps, that's a really good sign, and he's holding his own. So I'm excited to see him on the field, making plays, and just the fact that he's a Cal Golden Bear making plays for the Raiders just gives me the warm and fuzzy Nnamdi Asomugha feelings, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to see him.
I want to, if he's like that and he gives you that warm and fuzzy, I want to see him come up and blast dudes and tackle, because we'll get into this in another show later on in the season when we go over our top 5 cornerbacks in the history of the NFL, or the last 30 years or so, or 20 years, or whatever we plan on doing. But we're going to have that show, and Nnamdi is one of the greatest tackling corners in all of football. I mean, the dude loved to come up and make hits. So, but all right, man, that's our top 5 players we cannot wait to see in training camp and going into the preseason. Let us know in the comments your top 5, anybody we missed, any mistakes you guys think we made. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Thanks for coming in, Greg.
Thanks for having me.
All right.